If you've been in the Minecraft community for a while, you may have come across content creators referring to some players as veterans. This word is far from neutral and means something, and I hope that this video essay will start to answer this question for you, amongst other things. The veteran in its context means that the given player has played for a chunk of time that people would come to respect. But this has two meanings in truth. The veteran of a game is a player that firstly has played for a lot of time, with what it means in terms of experience and how much specific knowledge they possess, and as diversified a skill set as they may have developed within that context. But a second reality is that they may have aged playing this game, meaning that they may have reached a level of maturity that puts their gaming into perspective. An example that comes to me is the YouTuber Mogswamp, having started in June 2012 a playthrough, the Flat World series, that is still being updated in the 1st of August 2025. Due to the inner limitations of a super flat world, you need to overcome some technical challenges and develop creative alternatives.
So much inspiration that I just dove into my sketchbook and began drawing. After a while, I started having a pretty good idea of how the structure would look, so I hopped into creative mode and sort of set up a skeleton for it. And after doing a whole bunch of resource gathering, I'm finally ready to start it. So, let's get this time lapse going. I hope you
And this is something we found in Flat World, with various farms for instance. In this span of 13 years, one can only imagine the type of knowledge Mogswamp may have developed. But there is also the side of his personal story, when he was still attending high school and doing content creation on the side. His story Xexay covered in the video titled Why This YouTuber Spent 12 Years on One World.
Reached episode 75 and made yet another checkpoint video, gaining 300 new subscribers. It genuinely felt like nothing could stand in his way as he slowly climbed up to the top. His goal to be the super flat guy felt right in his reach. He was on the brink of achieving it. But just as he started to gain some momentum, Monk graduated. He ran out of time and he had to start applying for college. It wasn't a decision he was happy to make, but he had no choice.
August, September, October, November, December, January. Dang, so it's been like a good 3 months and a week. This is the first episode in like a year or something, like 9 months.
College kept Monk really busy, and he simply didn't have the time nor the space to continue with his super flat world. But Monk wasn't ready to give up on his dreams just yet, making a video or two during the summer breaks.
I had a really busy semester in college, so I didn't really play any video games or eat or sleep. Now that's all over and it's the summertime, and it's gonna be a wicked cool summer. And this is where we're at now. I've sort of modified the bridge over here. If you guys want to help me.
Eventually, it also graduated from art college and found a job which further decreased the time he had. Episode 86 has a lot of introspection on his channel and his life. This episode is justly called Setting Goals. He refers to the channel as a persona. In this video about goals, he talks about farms, alongside the troubleshooting of farms that have been fixed while relying on glitches. For instance, the history of fish farms is important to track game design philosophy at Mojang Studios.
Ace design became the new AFK fish farm design moving forward, and it didn't take long for Mojang to shift targets. In 1.20, Mojang would indirectly patch this design by making it so that right-clicking signboards now edit the text on them, prompting Race to make a slightly different 1.20 version in response. But deep down, I think even Race knows that his design will eventually meet the same fate as every other design before it. And I've gotta say, all of this just makes me more confused, if anything. When I started researching this story, I was expecting some answer, but all I got was more questions.
As they've been trying to patch it all for a lot of time now.
Like, they're putting a lot of effort for something this oddly specific. They have killed 4 versions of it on Java Edition, and they're completely banned in Bedrock Edition, with most designs getting patched instantly. There's so many things I don't understand, so many missing pieces, so many questions left unanswered. Who benefits from these changes? What makes something like an iron farm get a pass while fish farms get patched?
He was also talking about money and employment prospects, both subjects I won't linger on.
I have goals for my personal life. So I'm out of college now. I just graduated, and first of all, I'm about to be unemployed. When I'm recording this, I'm just a few days out. I still am working with the school right now, but after that, I'll no longer be a student. So I got to find a job. So probably by the time you're seeing this, I'm going to be unemployed. So that's one of the goals. Another goal of mine is to keep creative, stay creative. I was an art major in college, and when you're an art major, you sort of have a network and you have artists around you, and there's a lot of inspiration and materials and resources. And now that I'm out of school, I want to make sure that I'm staying creative and continuing that part of my life. And then another goal of mine for this year was to get my finances together, get real organized, start saving up some money.
All in all, mature content and, as it says, more personal than the series focused on primarily before. Then again, this maturity is something that is found in the idea of aging itself, and the series was just the medium for this. Another set of layers I have in mind that perhaps have nothing to do with one another, but that's something I've seen in a video once. You'll notice I refer to many YouTubers, and this is significant about this video, as a sort of meta context. Because watching is something you could call passive, and video making, or even just playing the game, is active, but usually players will do a bit of both at irregular intervals, is Technoblade and Rackrap. As a player and content creator, Technoblade has reached legendary status, having influenced deeply the history of 1.8 PvP, and even that of Hypixel Skyblock, and Minecraft YouTube as a whole, and his tragic death is something that shook the community to its core. Which, as a side commentary, goes to show how much content creation is tied to the identity of Minecraft as a cultural object. Minecraft YouTube videos are some of the biggest that fall under the Let's Play genre to grace the internet to this day. The absolute unknown and uncertainty of beginning this game almost forces the audience to interact with the text on other platforms, meaning that Minecraft has no passive audience. People who are already familiar with the game actively participate by creating their own tutorial content to help others who are new and giving back to the Minecraft community. By doing this, it adds more substance to the text by adding their own commentary and humor, essentially brackets, entertaining a mass audience through their stories about the game or around the game. Brackets ended. Jacob H. 2015. This suggests that the reason Minecraft videos on the platform YouTube are so popular is because the game is a platform for people to tell and add their own story. In a game without a clear objective or story, people can create and contribute their own lore to the text for the rest of the community to enjoy, dissimilar to most other texts that have a sad narrative. Rackrap is a content creator, a speedrunner too, and did a tribute video dedicated to Technoblade. Because players designate each other by nicknames, we see this interpersonal relationship focusing on a Minecraft persona, etymologically meaning the mask of the actor playing a role in theater, theatrix. And don't we remember Technoblade as saying, "Blood for the Blood God"? The video tribute Rackrap did for Technoblade includes his raw reaction to the news.
Having a positive attitude, giving back. And so a year go by of me watching these videos, I end up in this massive recording with a whole bunch of YouTubers. We're 3 hours deep into the recording session, and I start to see players log off. I didn't recognize or understand why it was happening, but before I knew it, it was just me and my 3 other teammates left on the server. We were about to finish too, but a close friend of mine joins the call, and I don't know exactly what he said, but he broke the news. Technoblade had died.
Y'all haven't heard?
No.
What? Did you get banned?
Rack, check general lifesteal.
Wait.
What? Wait, Techno's
No.
channel?
Oh my god.
Techno's gone.
The silence that followed that statement, I think, really shows the respect that Technoblade carried in the Minecraft community. None of us know what to do. I think I was in shock. But we ended the recording session right then and there, and I logged off alone in my room and watched Technoblade's last video. It was his dad breaking the news that his son had died. Not even a minute in, and I started crying. But I felt weird doing it. Like, I didn't know this person. Why am I feeling this way? It hit me way harder than I thought it would. And I think that's been a big part of why I've had trouble with, and I haven't made this video for a long time, because it's weird. Like, it's a parasocial relationship, as they say. And it's something I've thought about a lot, because I'm kind of on the other side too now. I make YouTube videos. Some people watch my videos, and I think a lot of people might make the argument that, like, it's stereotypical for a YouTuber to be different in their videos than they are in person. And, like, yeah, you are. So what if you are more energetic? Don't you speak differently to your grandma than you do your closest friends? It's just another part of life. And so while I never had a back and forth with Technoblade, I wasn't like his friend. I knew what he was like in his videos, and I really admired that. Like, even just his writing skills, and I studied how he spoke in all of his videos and what he says and how he's setting up these stories. And I tried to emulate it. So it's been a full year since he's died, and it's made me think a lot about mortality and life and what I want to do. Because it's a harsh reality. Like, people in your life are going to die, and it makes me really sad for Technoblade's dad. It makes me think about, like, my own dad, and like giving my own dad a hug. The day I heard Technoblade died, I remember having this overwhelming feeling about what I want to be on YouTube, what the impact that I want to leave, and it just sounded so cheesy. It's like, I just want to be a good person, because Technoblade to me was the epitome of a good person. I mean, I don't want to get rose-tinted glasses. Like, he wasn't like a perfect human being, and there were things I probably didn't know about him. But I think he's a good idol to have. And it's been really nice this past year, because I feel like I've really become my own person on YouTube. Like, I don't analyze that Potato War video anymore to see what a good intro is, but only because I learned principles from analyzing that have put me in my own spot on YouTube. I don't know where I'm going with this, but I'll end on this. I feel like I've never really internalized the term legend in my mind. You know, it's used a lot in, like, Greek mythology, maybe in books you're reading or at school. But to me, Technoblade is a legend. I would say thanks for the videos that he made and the kind of person he was online. I think it shaped me quite a bit. I would say I'm sorry to all the people who knew him closely, his dad especially. But above all else, I would say this: Technoblade never dies.
And then evokes the respect Technoblade had within the community, and him crying not even a minute in. There is maturity in confrontation to death, and it may be the first time at such an impact that a Minecraft YouTuber had died, one with widespread name recognition at least.
Technoblade raised a generation of kids, a new wave of YouTubers, and millions for charity. But at his peak, he died of cancer. Which is why this video will be treated with absolute care.
Understand that social mutation is usually slow, but after the pandemics, it isn't unheard of to have known people online and still being young and them being dead. Indeed, there is an unreal amount of social diversity online. Back to Raycraft's tribute. People in your life are going to die. This apparently spared in him a reflection around mortality, YouTube, and the impact he wanted to leave. I feel like I've never really internalized the term of legend in my life, and the conclusion is Technoblade never dies, to refer to his legacy as a content creator, the cultural impact he had had.
The community was heartbroken. But we can't forget the insane positive impact Techno's had on the world. Because of him, the Sarcoma Foundation got an additional $1.26 million, which is saying something because the organization in total has made $26 million, like lifetime. They also named an award after him that they give to people who make huge strides in cancer research. Before Techno's death, the Sarcoma Foundation invited him to receive the Courage Award, but he passed away before the ceremony, so instead they had Skeppy present the award to his parents. Tommy Innit also became an ambassador for the UK version of the Sarcoma Foundation, which he's been taking very seriously. Outside of specifically cancer research, there are many modern Minecraft YouTubers who openly cite Technoblade as one of their biggest inspirations. And in general, these are the people who are bringing the most passion to the community. I never knew Technoblade, but he had a pretty big impact on me. I remember when he died, I think that might have been the hardest I cried about anything in my entire life. Which, I don't know what that says about me, but during the whole Dream SMP is cringe kind of era, Technoblade was the one person I would always be like, yeah, I'll f with that guy. Overall, he seems like just an absolutely all-around wonderful person. He's made such an impact on so many people's lives.
But then again, what about the average player in comparison to Technoblade, Moxwamp, Recrap, names that may enjoy some good amount of recognition within the community, as if it's uniform, though languages make this vary across geographical areas. In France, it may be names like The Fantasy of the Cat, Hyper, or Earth that inspire this sort of aura. But they are not ordinary players, since they've made videos, they're content creators, or have been if in retirement, whatever. But I believe that there's something to be said about people that have been playing for a while, or even a dozen or so years, and have not had a legacy or an impact. Although it may feel like there is a loss of the time invested within the game, and it may be that we've been ingrained the superstructure of capitalism to seek profit or productivity however we can, or a diversity of legacies, in the form of micro-experiences, memories you can only have and share with a handful of people. Perhaps that there's inherent artificiality in videos that can't quite reflect the vitality, the intimacy you have with other people that don't have to play a persona to fit a market's demand, to overwhelm expectations, to handle parasocial behaviors or relationships. To conclude, Minecraft is a sandbox and, to take the words from the poem of Julian Kurt, sent to Marcus Persson in 2011, and skipped by many speedrunners since then, and the universe said, I love you because you are loved. There was place for mediocrity in this world, which will not necessarily be mediocrity even then. You are free to do what you want, and you are maturing and evolving doing this. And there is not too complex about other people, other players being better at PvP, video making, redstone, building, speedrun, modding, or the 100,000 ways to play this game. I love you because you are loved.